So, having said that, just going through the draft a little bit, without even, there was 1, 2, 3, hold on, 4, 5, 6 sessions of 4, so 24 fucking people got draft. Well, no, I'm sorry, I contradict myself. 24 draft picks and up to 6 people in a pick. So it's meaningless at this point, but they got a 3-hour show. And they had the notable things were Stephanie McMahon did round 1 by herself, didn't have anybody with her. Usually it's a 2-man or 2-person operation. But she's a babyface again, isn't she, Brian?
Yeah.
Was there any, from the crowd, any negative? I couldn't hear anything. No problems, no chants, no booing. They loved seeing her.
Yeah, someone better someone better boo soon because they keep getting her on TV more and more. So if someone wants to stop this, now's the time to boo.
I think they're just dangling it out there to see what might happen. But anyway, and that's during that round, Jade Cargill was drafted to SmackDown, where I think she wasn't she? Wasn't she already there?
Yeah, she was teaming with Bianca Belair.
Well, good. She won't have to change the color of her carrying bag. Logan Paul and one of his stooges did round 2, and they also introduced the football player Patrick Mahoney.
Mahomes.
And
he's the most famous football player in the country right now, probably.
Oh, I thought he was being familiar with him. He's calling Mahomes, like Mahomes.
Is Patrick Mahomes. And again, this was interesting too, because he was a hometown guy, popular in the hometown place, obviously, because he's, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but he's having a great time with the heel. So you don't know what to think of it.
Well, what you think of it is that this guy's a hotshot football player that everybody wanted to see, but he's friends with Logan Paul, and he wanted to be a heel because that's more fun. And they said, fuck it, if he'll get him on the show, then let him do what he wants. So he gives the Super Bowl rings to fucking Logan Paul, who swings at the babyface, and he ducks it. Logan Paul pickles poor old JD Funko. And how can you miss a head that size, right? And he tweeted pictures of him afterwards. He had the Super Bowl rings imprinted in his fucking head. And
I told you I like him. Now, he's committed. He goes all the way. Every bump he takes looks good. When they had to do this spot, he must have said, just punch me in the head as hard as you can. Leave a mark.
Yeah. Because how can they tell if his head's swollen anyway? But nevertheless, in this round, that's where CM Punk was drafted. And, of course, got a big pop and Punk chance. Normally, they're just announcing names, and people are like, ready. But again, if this was a shoot, they picked 16 entities on SmackDown the other night. And Punk would have been amongst them. But then they would have ended up with a bunch more jobbers than they drafted on this program already. JBL and Ron Simmons, this had to be a rib that they gave Ron Simmons the Japanese and the Hispanic names to pronounce. Did you hear him trying to get out the names of everybody in Escobar's group?
I didn't. Now I wish I had. I had it on mute just because I figured I'll see who gets picked and I'll watch the, I think it was the Met game on that night.
No, that was the best part. He mumbled through it. It's Angel and Berto and Lopez or whatever. He got through that. And then, meanwhile, JBL, he had to do Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Cruz, Wild, Vega, and Carlito. There were 6 people drafted, and that was the record. But then after Ron does Escobar's guys, he has to come back with Shinsuke Nakamura. And anyway, before we talk about the segment now where Drew, and this was the part where Drew McIntyre was drafted to Raw, this late again for Drew McIntyre. Before we go into that segment, though, the rest of it, Teddy Long and Medusa presented some people. And Bubba and Devon presented some people. And then Pierce and Aldis finally finished it up. And just random thoughts, at least old Ilya Dragunov is going to go to Raw now. So we've liked him in the past.
What did you think of the way they shot the NXT announcements when everyone's sitting there, baby faces and heels, but happy for whoever gets called up?
Hated it. Hated it. If it never would have happened that way in Ohio Valley Wrestling, goddammit. Because then everybody if you want to bring someone up to the main roster and make them a star, the exact thing that I would think you don't want is them to be sitting there looking like Lucky Lucy that just had, fucking won a refrigerator on The Price is Right. Which is that both Lyra, Valkyria, and Blair Davenport looked like they were game show winners from, middle suburbia. Don't have baby faces and heels that are mad at each other in your NXT universe sitting together just for the opportunity to go to this other television program, because that makes people who watch NXT think, well, I guess this ain't no big fucking deal. And at the same time, don't present your fucking guys or girls like they've won the lottery. If they ought to be coming out if it's a baby face, hey, I'm going to show everybody that I've got what it takes or whatever. But if it's a heel, have them go, what took you so long to recognize me? I'm going to rip this place up. Get them started from the word fucking go. Don't make people think they're some goddamn chump that has been rewarded that didn't believe in themselves to begin with. Fuck. But now that I'm over with that,